we've got ourselves a fresh series. Hopefully nobody's lagging in this series. We're having some issues with that in the last one, but spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the onside gamer himself, Maru. And his opponent in the lower left-hand corner, the Red Protoss for Twisted Minds. Classic. Switching over here from Hero versus Cure. That is an absolute banger if you want to watch that one. Steadfast is still covering that. I believe the Cranky Ducklings are still covering that, as well as a number of other casters into the Innu in Korean. I think I just saw Coca is in this one, so not sure who ended up where, but yeah, feel free to check that one out. I hope you guys have a couple of streams open at least. Honestly, I'd probably have like Wardy and Steadfast open. They're usually going to be pretty good at not covering the same game. For me, as much as I do love casting, and this is so that I can cast some games, I want to make sure the tournament runs as smoothly as possible. We lost Wardy in a game earlier, and I want to make sure that does not happen. This tournament's put on by the community, and I want to make sure the community gets to see it, gets to see every game as much as they can. Again, huge shout out to the Patreon. Without those patrons, we would not be able to have this tournament or the weeklies or any of that kind of stuff. I'm super happy to put on a tournament like this. And I really appreciate the support from the community to be able to do it. You guys are supporting these players, keeping them going in the tough post-Blizzard times. A lot of probes coming out to fight this SCV, and it looks like they will get it. That's also a lot of probes on the low ground here for this Reaper to mess with. So it grabs a probe, gets away. But the SCV went down. No bunker for Maru. Classic. Scouting around a little bit too much for that. And ooh, Maru actually putting down the starport very early. CC up on the high ground. He wants to get cheeky with a follow-up, it feels like. But playing it safe, doesn't want to take any damage from these units coming across the map. Classic going for his Stargate opener, which Maru should be able to scout here. He's going to dive for that information. That poor Reaper. But it got the job done. Phoenix is coming out of Classic here, and I do like Phoenix openers. I think they can be quite strong, especially against harassment-based openers. Kind of like this. But this is, what, 6 Marines and a Widowmine in that medevac. Words are hard sometimes. Cheeky Widowmine coming this way as well. Classic's Pylon is actually going to scout that. If he saw it, it looks like he's more focused over here. Oh my god, and that Widowmine gets the kill. Where are these Stalkers going? Oh no, I don't like this at all. The Stalkers running away from their post. They need to be in the main. They know this medevac is coming. It's a little bit out of position. I feel like these Stalkers could have stopped this from happening. One of the Stalkers is going to go down. The Marines are a real threat here. Widowmine has already gone off. The one down in the natural got not quite all of those 10 kills. These Marines got a few of those. Oh my god, the 2 more Stalkers going to go down as they warp in. This is just going from bad to worse for Classic, who's lost 10 workers to this drop already. Maru did lose a lot of fighting units, but the 4 Stalkers and the Phoenix that went down, so painful. And I mean, this is an excellent, excellent opening for Maru here. Getting so much economic damage and keeping that Stalker count low, keeping the Phoenix count a little bit lower. There's just not a lot of recourse here from Classic, and Classic's even going to lose another Phoenix just for that Widowmine. And now the 2 Cyclones are going to push this back. They're going to get the lock on to the Adept. quite finish it off, but I mean, it's not going to do so hot back there. The SCV building the engineering bay, stopped building to kill it, and then turned back to finish building. I mean, what a hero that SCV is. And in the meantime, Classic doesn't have a third base. He's got pylons at these bases, but he's just now dropping his third. Almost 6 minutes in, that's not where Classic wants to be right now. It feels like this opening from Maru has just hurt Classic so badly. He's getting into Colossi without any Phoenixes out on the map. That's not the position he wants to be in. But he's just gonna try to get up what army he can. Maru is going heavy on the tech units right now, 2 Cyclones and 2 Siege Tanks. But now getting into the Marines. Stim combat shields on the way. He's gonna have to wait for all these upgrades before he can really take a good fight. But with the Raven, 1 Colossus is not gonna feel nearly as strong. Thermal Lance is a very long upgrade. It's a long ways from being done. Maru going to go ahead and take his own third base here. Looks like he wants to push out. Those upgrades are getting pretty near complete. He wants to get that pressure going. Classic is going to have a second Colossus, though. But I think there's 2 lockdowns. There's two interference matrices on this Raven. Classic's going to dive forward and try to pick off some of these units, but in fact, he's going to almost lose his Stalker for that. He really wants to get that Raven. That Raven is so important in Maru's army. I don't think Maru's going to let him have it. He is going to slowly work his way forward. There's a third Colossus on the way. Another double lock on here onto one of those Stalkers. The shield battery going to keep it healed up, though. The tanks continue to push forward. Nice couple of force fields there. One of the interference matrices goes down. The other one goes down as well. There's a super shield battery, but it gets targeted down. The ground units are trying to just win against the bio, or at least hold on until the Colossi come back online. But so far, the bio is just crushing it right now. A third Colossus pops out, but Classic doesn't have any gateway units left. He needs to get some more gateway units. I do love the movement of this Colossus. That is a great move. Robo's not going to be able to build anything else here. No Immortal coming out. Maru again accidentally picks up. He did that in the last series as well. Maybe he's changed some hotkeys around. He's making those misclicks a little bit, but he's gotten a lot of damage done already. Classic's army is severely, severely hurt. And he just isn't able to get up any units to support these Colossi. And it's just not possible for him to go take a fight against the siege tanks with just Colossi. He loses the other one here at the third base. More bio shows up, stimmed and ready to go. Oh my god, the Colossus is going to die to the auto turret, and GG gets called. Maru just dominates Classic in game number 1. That drop really messing Classic up in kind of in a surprising way. You know, he knew that was coming. Losing the first Phoenix is annoying, but it lets you know what's coming in that medevac. And still, his Stalkers were not in position. He wasn't ready to defend. I think if he had just had Stalkers on the edge of his base, he's totally fine against that. Very unfortunate there for Classic. All right, game number 2 is going to be on Babylon. Join our players here. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner, we do have our blue Terran for Onside Gaming, none other than Maru. And his opponent in the lower right in the red, representing Twisted Minds. Classic. That was a tough first game for Classic. It's hard to face Maru. There are very few people in the world that I think can feel confident against Maru at any given point. And, I mean, Classic has had some really strong games in the last 6 months or so, but the majority of this year. I feel like Classic has had some strong showings. He's surprised a few people with how well he's done at a few of these events, but he's definitely looked very good. Still, though, I don't know how you beat Maru. There's no consistent way to beat Maru. You just have to be really damn good. You just have to play so well. And it's a tall task. It's easier said than done. But I hope Classic busts out some interesting builds. We did see Maru fall to a Bane bust earlier against Ragnarok, so even gods can bleed. He's definitely not invincible. Maru, maybe in GSLs he feels invincible, but he's lost plenty of games and plenty of matches. Again, trying to build that bunker. I love that Classic is so adamant about not letting it happen. Pulling the probes immediately, just hard stopping the bunker. Making sure it can't happen. The whole bunker with the Reaper in it thing is so annoying to deal with. I don't blame Classic for doing that. And he's going to go Twilight Council this game. It's going to be a Blink opener, most likely. I guess the question is just what kind of Blink opener. Is it going to be just a 2-gate Blink into an expand, a 4-gate Blink, 6-gate Blink? I think that is a thing, but I don't think that's very likely. But I mean, you never know. You really, it could be 1-gate Blink. Maybe he's going to go charge. Maybe it's charge lot all the way inside. Or a Dark Shrine. Just drop a Dark Shrine like right here. Let's get some spice in these builds. Maru again opening up with the Widowmine drop. I don't know if the Marines are going to go into this one. They could. This is actually looking very similar to last game. I like how when I selected, I also accidentally selected that creature, and the little tab down here was like, you meant to select that, right? You definitely needed that in the group with the medevac. That's what you were looking for. I wonder if I can control F the little critters. I'm gonna have to try that. But it is in fact a 6 Marine and 1 Widowmine drop once again. Probes getting pulled away. This time it's 4 Stalkers, and they are in a much better position. Classic gonna micro them a little bit more. I don't know if that 1 Widowmine walked its way into the natural this time as well. I don't think it did. It's just gonna be 3 dead probes instead of 10. A much, much better opening for Classic. Probably what he was looking for last game, but the Phoenix dying really hurt his chances of holding it off as nicely as that. This time, solid on the defense. And he takes that third right away, a full minute earlier than last game. We see so quickly how a build, is meant to be played, right? Or how the game is meant to go for the Protoss versus how it went last game, which was just from bad to worse for Classic. This game looking much better, much stronger. A couple of probes going down here. What's this? What's that? A cloaked Banshee. That is worth noting. There's actually no detection right now. Where's the observer? Oh no, there is detection. Oh my god. It was hiding. It's such an invisible unit, I didn't even see it. Okay, there is detection. Another observer down here as well. The Archon to defend the Banshee. A rare thing to see used to defend a Banshee. Although I just unlocked a primal memory for me of a day 9 daily where the Archon hit the Nexus to splash damage onto the Banshee. What an incredible daily that was. Do you guys remember that? The classic. Speaking of classic, no shield battery down here, so that one Banshee gonna get a few more kills. That's 7 in total so far. Doing quite a bit of damage here. The Banshees actually did a lot more than that initial drop. 11 probes have gone down. This Banshee's still alive as well, still being annoying here. But it looks like Classic's gonna move out. He wants to put some pressure on. Banshee just diving for it. 4 probes going down. This one's still chilling back here as well. I don't really know what this army was meant to do. It's a very small little army. Maru, in the meantime, is... Oh my god, what is this double Ghost Academy? I think this is a mistake, but I really want him to drop nukes. I really want this to be for nukes, but I'm like almost positive it's a mistake. He saw the High Templar and he wanted to drop a Ghost Academy, and he immediately just dropped the second one because he, I don't know, didn't realize he had put the first one down. We'll see. Maybe we'll get some nukes out of Maru. I'd love to see it. But Storm is on the way for Classic. Unfortunately, with Ghosts already coming out, Storm is feeling less and less good. I do love when players rush to Storm, but Maru just responding immediately with the hard counter. Nice little scan dodge by that observer. We've got 4 Widow Mines in this medevac trying to come across and get something done here. The High Templar does have a feedback, but that's not going to kill a medevac. Yeah, drops it down anyways. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, no. Classic. 18 probes going down as the Banshee comes back in as well. 25 probes. The Storm finishes it off. But, my God, even a Zealot. Oh, no. Poor Classic, dude. I mean, that is just so brutal. He tries to move out, and immediately Maru's in his base with 4 Widow Mines that just get the beautiful clumped up shot that you'd never want to see as a Protoss. But, man, it makes for good television. Classic now trying to drop some Storms, keep this bio back, but the Ghosts are out already. Maru just adding Ghosts into this push. Seems so simple. A Storm from the backside actually hits a lot of Marines. Medevac's going to have to work overtime to keep those guys topped up. There are a lot of gateway units here for Classic as well, but he has to take such a good engagement to make up for the fact that he's down 20 workers. And as good as that Storm was, I don't know if it's going to be enough. Zealot's starting to charge forward here. The Archon's trying to tank up front. The Stalker's blinking on top of the tanks. The Immortal from the backside actually kind of clutch. He gets targeted down, but the Stalkers blink forward to stop a couple of these medevacs from escaping. Classic will push Maru back, takes an army supply lead that's pretty substantial. Widow Mines and Ghosts going to try to do their best here, but as the medevacs die, these Vikings, what are these Vikings for? They are here for absolutely nothing right now. Classic, he's going to pull back. He's got to wait for some of those reinforcements. This Archon is so low. Maru really wants to kill it. The Classic's not giving him the chance. Oh my God! And he says splash damage against units is pretty good. Your workers can die to it too. Classic getting his vengeance for those Widow Mines. And now it feels like the tables have turned. The Storms from the backside. Classic. What a god. Turns it right around on Maru. Stops his push and stuffs it back in his face. Maru is not allowed to have a third. The worker count has been evened up. And Classic, he's up in army supply. Now he can resaturate his third. He can rebuild those probes. He was waiting a little while to start that, trying to make sure that he had the units he needed. But he pulls back. He says, I've gotten the damage done. I'm in a good spot now. Maru's going to be able to retake his third base, but he's kind of afraid. He's stuck in his main right now. He is worried about what Classic's got going on. Classic is going to lose that Prism. He's going to recall the Zealots. He's like, all right, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I want those Zealots back. I kind of like that. I wouldn't hate to see Classic take a fourth base here. I feel like what he needs to be worried about, though, is a little bit of... he's so susceptible to EMP right now. I think that's what Classic really needs to be worried about. Also, this Immortal's not with the right control group. Here's Zealot's doing something. Widowmine gets the kill. But it looks like only one probe went down since our little pop-up didn't show up. So far, 43 probes have died this game, and 21 SCVs. But I actually really don't hate Classic's position at all. Neither player is going super heavy on upgrades. Classic is behind the majority of this armor upgrade. But it's not like Maru has double upgrades at the moment. His armory's not even done yet, so he's not going to be able to get 2-2 going for a while. So Classic should be able to catch up at least a little bit in that regard. He wants to dive back in. The Observer gets killed. But Maru does not realize this is up here. Look at him going to put down that depot, and immediately now he's got to respond to this. He had a drop going out, but the drop is pulling back as the third base is once again under assault. The EMP hits, the Prism goes down. No storms on the backside this time. How many EMPs are there? How many storms will actually land? It's an important question, but Classic, he pulls back. Gets a couple SCV kills. Oh, good EMP. Another couple of good EMPs on this army, and all of a sudden Classic's army is feeling pretty weak. He has more storms behind this, though. He's going to stop this army from pushing forward too quickly. Ooh, he's got to be careful. That's a beautiful storm right on the front lines, and Classic turns around to fight as he forces that army to retreat. The Widowmines, though, hitting beautifully on Classic's army. The Stalkers and Zealots getting hit by that splash damage so brutally. I don't know that I like Classic continuing to push forward here because there's more EMPs. These Archons getting blasted. The Zealots are all gone. The SCVs helping to buffer, and Classic loses absolutely everything. Oh man, these Widowmines doing so much damage. The EMP doing so much. Maru's army supply almost double that of Classic's after that fight. And for a minute there was a 50 army supply difference. And now Maru's going to pick everything up and move across the map. The worker count for both of them is pretty abysmal. So those 10 SCVs doesn't really make much of a difference. A couple Widowmines go down, but the Zealots are going to die for that. I feel like there was a drop going off at some point, and yeah, we got some Widowmines running in here as well, while Classic's busy dealing with the front lines. Oh no, oh not again. The probe manany. More probes going down, and there's gonna be another one in the main. Jesus. The amount of probes that have died this game is insane. 56 of them going down. Classic down to 42 workers. He's still down army supply. And the problem is, Maru's tech is just better. Oh. Assuming he hits the EMPs. Because honestly, the storms have been hitting pretty damn good. But Maru, it just feels like Maru has too much now. I will say he doesn't seem to have a fourth base or any inclination. Oh no, okay, he has a fourth base. It's just his main. Excuse me, I forgot. I forgot. It's Maru. Who needs to build a fourth base when you already have a main? Silly me. So Maru will be able to take another base, get some fresh mining, while 8 more probes go down. I don't even know where those probes died. But Maru comes in, he snipes the Nexus like Polt. It's a second Polt sniping Nexus's reference today in Maru's games. It was a hard sentence to say. But Classic just knocked back to the 3 bases. Not able to get any good mining going. 38 workers. It felt like Classic had this game. It's just such a bad engagement. He pushed so hard into this base. After the Widowmines had hit, after the EMPs had hit. And you know, didn't work. Didn't work for him. Maru holding on to that substantial lead. It looks like Classic's going to go for another push. This time the EMPs don't quite hit that Prism in time. One of the storms does land. Another one lands really nicely on some of that bio. But the EMPs are hitting down. I don't think we're going to see any more storms in this fight. I don't know if we're going to see more storms in this game. There's more probes going down. I don't even know what's killing them anymore. It's these Widow Mines. Oh, no. There's no detection here. 7 SCVs did fall as well, but Maru's just got this nice, fresh mining base down here. And there's still 20 more SCVs than probes. Classic, he's going to go for it again. But the ghost count has just been too high. The double Ghost Academy build is definitely the strat here for Maru. And those EMPs make these Archons just basically nothing. The command center does go down, but I think that's the consolation prize, as it looks like Maru's about to take game number 2 in this best of 5. GG. Maru, man. Not only is Maru insanely good, but it does feel like Classic might have thrown that game a little bit. I hate to use the term, but it does kind of feel that way. We're going into game number 3 now. All right, let's do it here. Up on match point, looking poised to take the clean sweep here in this best of 5. I hope it doesn't happen, because I don't like clean sweeps. I want to see at least a 3-1, not a 3-2. I don't know. It is Onside Gaming's Maru. He wants to see the 3-0. He's ready. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner, though, can he pull the reverse sweep? That's what I want to know. I would love to see it. That would actually be so insanely hyped. For Twisted Minds, our Protoss is Classic. I don't expect Maru to change things up too much here. I feel like he can if he needs to, but for the most part, Maru, all he needs to do is macro. And he's looks pretty damn good most of the time, so. Classic, though. So far, the macro hasn't worked out too well for him. Maybe it's time to bust out some aggressive strats, you know? Is it time for the 4-gate blink? No matter how good Maru is, he is susceptible, I think, to a lot of those early game aggression tactics. We've seen him fall to the blink builds, to the roaches and ravagers. Not necessarily cheeses, but the aggression can get him sometimes, especially if it's just comes down to good control from the person attacking. We know Classic has some excellent Stalker control. But there's no Reaper this game. This is straight into Marines for Maru. So he's not going to have a lot of scouting information at all. It's a quick third CC. Maru is playing this fast and loose, hoping that Classic just goes for a macro game. Classic is going for a macro game, fortunately for Maru. Fortunately, for that Adept. There are a few Marines out, though. Classic not going to get the scout up on the high ground at all until the Phoenixes start coming out. And it looks like he is going to go for Phoenix Colossus again. Is my guess of the follow-up would be Colossi. But this game, Maru's not going to have the ability to disrupt Classic's early game. So this is kind of what you give up to go for a 3cc build like this. Did I say 3 racks earlier? Words are hard. I mean, to be fair, this is a 3 racks follow-up to the 3cc. But it means that Maru is not going to be able to get that, like, Widowmine Marine drop kind of thing out, right? So you do sacrifice a little bit when going for this. Oh, man. Classic gets in and sees the 3 racks, but he hasn't seen the 3rd command center. Is he going to come around and spot it? It looks like he is. Oh, my God. Classic, please. Move in. Move into the base, Classic. Please, Classic. Classic.
Research complete.
So important he sees this. He finally does. But now he knows he's up against the 3 command center build. Oh, the Marines get a lot of damage off on this Phoenix. They don't quite get it. Phoenix a little too fast for that, but man, that was dicey. And Classic, instead of going for a 3rd base, is going to go straight for that Robo Bay. He's worried about the push out here, and I can't blame him. A lot of Marines out is very difficult to deal with Phoenixes. These Marines are going to have stim and combat shields in a little while. Maru could just go for some aggression. I mean, this is a lot of Marines coming across, actually. This is more than I'd expected. There's already a group out there on the map. Phoenix is trying to pick up some of the reinforcements, but with just 3 Phoenixes, one of them so brutally injured, Classic needs to get some units out. And ooh, I was going to say this is a real problem for him because taking a 3rd base is very important. Maru's is obviously, it's been done for a while. Classic needs to get a 3rd base going at some point. Right now, he is waiting for Maru to try to push up this ramp. Is Maru going to think to check down here? I feel like the answer is probably no. Phoenix is continuing to try to pick off a couple of Marines here and there back at home. Maybe a couple of SCVs. Delaying starport even. Scan goes down on the high ground, sees that there's stuff on the way. There's force fields available here. Maru decides to back off. But it does feel like he's looking for something, and I'm a little bit worried for Classic's base. So far, so good. But I think Maru's about to find it. Oh, no. He clicked there, and he clicked back. Okay. Yeah, he finds it. He finds it. And this sucks for Classic. So badly. This is the worst possible time for Maru to have found this. And Maru is going to kill this. That is a cancel. That's a good cancel. Classic, though, he's going to try to stop these units from escaping. The force fields go down. They trap a couple of those Marines, but they're able to sneak by anyways and pick off at least the sentries, the high-value units. Maru gets away with a number of those Marines, but Classic's going for a push now. Classic's been, his hand has been forced. His 3rd base was canceled. I don't know if Maru can hold this base right now. This is a dangerous position for Maru to be in. His 1-1 is not going to be finished in time for this fight. Classic, he is going to have Thermal Lance very soon, but it is not here yet. SCV's getting pulled to fight as well. The stim goes down. The Colossus can't pull back too far because it doesn't have that range. But Thermal Lance is about to finish as a 2nd Colossus shows up. 10 SCVs going down, but there's no more gateway units to help these Colossi out. The Phoenixes go for some lifts. The Colossi pull back, and Maru realizes he cannot stay out here. But then a few more units show up. Some Zealots pop in, but those are not charge lots. Maru pushes that away successfully, but he does eat some damages. But even though he lost 10 SCVs, he's still 10 ahead. And Classic's 3rd base isn't done yet. The amount of extra mining Classic is, or Maru's doing right now is just kind of insane. Classic does keep one of those Colossi alive, which is very important. Maru trying to push out now. Charge not quite done yet. I think Classic's just going to go straight up for an all-in counter push. He's not building probes. Charge is about to finish. He's got a warp prism on the way. Wow, the water is so loud. That seems really loud to me. Maybe it's the Colossi. They are pretty big. Makes sense. 6 probes just went down in the meantime. As 1 Widowmine, did it just walk in there? I hear Phoenixes, so maybe it flew in there. Oh, no. Okay, Classic at least pulling some of these probes, but 3 more probes go down before that mine gets cleaned up. That is brutal. Classic down to 41 workers. He is rebuilding probes now, but I think it's all in time. This is looking mighty dire for Classic. He's down 30 supply from his opponent. Maru's going to lift the 3rd base. He says, you know what? It's not worth trying to hold on to that. Let's just get out of here for now. He's got a 4th about to finish. He knows he's doing a lot of damage on the other side of the map. The worker count for Classic is abysmal. And Maru, very smartly, I think, pulls back. This 4th base could be in a little bit of trouble. Honestly, if Classic goes and stops that 4th base from existing, that could be a good move here. Oh my god, the kill in the Observer is pretty brutal. There are so many Widow Mines up this ramp. Classic tries to dive up and immediately just loses a bunch of Zealots. There's more probes going down on the other side of the map. The SCV is getting pulled here, though, as Classic pulls the trigger, and he dives forward. The Colossi and the Archons doing a ton of splash damage to these SCVs, 25 of them going down. But the bio, I think, is going to be enough to push through here. Even with the fancy pickup micro of Classic, he is going to lose his whole army, and he is going to lose the game. Maru takes the 3-0 victory in that series to secure himself a spot in the semifinals.